Children of the world, parents of the world, this is for you. I'm Rowena.
And I'm April. We are best friends and moms to 5 young athletes and sisters to Olympic champions. We have a mission to inspire our kids
and your kids through the stories of champions.
Who am I? I'm a champion. Who am I? I'm a champion. Who am I? I'm a champion.
Welcome back, champions. This week, our next guest is breaking the mold a little bit. He's not legend status by any means yet because he's only 10 years old. I am so happy to introduce to you guys Connor Stitt. He is a BMX biker. He's a bit of a phenom and for sure a rising star in the realm of pushing your physical limits, being your best self every day and believing in yourself. Already he's inspiring the young, and I want to say the old as well, to dream big and go bigger in life. And it's not just about the bike. So he performs with big guns in Nitro Circus Demos, you guys. He's a pro guest as a Woodward ambassador. That's this extreme sports playground if you've never heard of Woodward. And he's the youngest ever to perform a double backflip on the BMX and a front flip, and the youngest to ever perform a front flip tuck no-hander. You got to go check him out on YouTube. We'll put the links on our intro. But now we know that how you start life, it doesn't really matter. And you guys out there, you champions listening, you can change your story at any time. But we know from chatting to you guys, you want to hear from the young ones like Connor. So Connor, thank you so much. We're so happy to have you here. Welcome. We are so excited to get into your life.
Thank you.
Connor, this is so fun. Thank you so much for being on the show with us.
We're going to just do some fun stuff first because even though it's not really important, I know people are going to want to know this. So what's your favorite thing ever to eat? Like if you had no parents, no one telling you what to do, like what would you eat all day?
Probably ice cream and pizza and donuts.
Yeah.
I think that's what my kids would say too.
See, he's just normal, you guys. He's just like you.
And what about, do you have any like lucky underwear or lucky socks or anything that you feel like you have to have when you go out there? No? Oh, cool.
Oh, it's just the raw you, huh? I know I've watched you, Connor, be such a good cheerleader for, the bike gang that you've kind of created in the parks here in Utah. And I love that about you. Yeah. I've seen you cheer my son Lion on and just anyone going for it, going for new tricks. I want to know, who is your biggest cheerleader right now?
Oh, Schmitty. Brandon Schmidt.
Oh, he's another BMX rider?
Yes.
I love it.
He has a lot of energy. He really likes to party.
And you vibe off that, huh? I know you love to have fun. Yeah. Gosh. What about, who helps you believe in yourself?
My parents.
I love it. It's so great to have supportive parents. I think that can be something that is such an amazing gift. I know sometimes as a kid, especially, you might not realize how amazing that is, but not everybody has that. So just, always be giving them lots of thanks for that. Well, let's bring it back. Right. When did you start getting into biking and how did that all happen? Like what age were you, and were you the one that decided you wanted to do it, or take us back and tell us the story?
I started riding a bike when I was 2, but I would just ride everything, just for fun. And then once we were 7, my parents were like, all right, you guys, pick one sport. And then I picked BMX. And then ever since then, I started progressing. And I just got.
How old were you then when you were really picked one sport?
7.
Oh, 7. Yeah, okay. 7. Awesome. And you just loved it. So you're just like, okay, that looks fun. Or did you start watching somebody that you really looked up to?
I just liked it the most because we would skateboard, scooter, bike, snowboard, all that stuff, dirt bike.
Yeah. I actually, kind of going back to who believes in you, Connor, I love that you talked about Schmitty because a lot of our listeners on here, not everyone has parents like you. Not everyone would say like, oh, it's my parents that believe in me. And so I love it that you put out there, like, our young champion listeners, you just got to find people who like will cheer you on and say, you can do it. And that's one of the reasons why we have you as a guest, Connor. You're so good at that. But tell me, do you ever have, well, maybe let's talk about when you were first at Pastrana Land with Travis Pastrana. You were invited out to go for the double backflip. Is that how it went? You got invited to go try it?
I was going to land the double flip, but and then so we just asked Travis if he wanted to be a part of it. And then so he was like, oh, yeah, just come over to my place and then do it. And then so we were like, all right. And then so we flew to his place. And then we were there for 2 weeks. We extended our stay for an extra week. For the first, 3 days, he has, a flat airbag. It's huge.
I saw that. Oh.
There, all week. And then on the fourth day, we set it, the landing up. So what we did is, so they have a bunch of tractors, of course, to make all their stuff. And then, so they built a big mulch landing. And then they have this airbag lander thing that you put on top. And then, so we put that on top and then make a perfect airbag lander.
Whoa. We're going to put the link up to that video on YouTube for our guests to watch. But I saw you crash so many times in the video. How many times do you think you crashed before you landed it?
How many times?
Yeah.
I probably crashed in that video of the double flip 4 times.
Only 4? What?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say 100.
No, because I practiced it a bunch into the flat bag, so I got it. And then after that, we made the jump. We made the bag a little bit harder. And then after that, each day, I was just warming up on the double flip. And I was doing over and over and over. And then there, I also landed a front flip on that airbag.
Whoa.
How did you even know that you could do that? How do you get the courage to do that? Do you have people that you watch and then you think, oh, I can do that too? Or do you just create it in your mind? Wow, I think I can, do these new tricks or what?
You kind of just got to try it. And then you can, and my dad, he shows me videos so that of me trying it so that he can coach me on stuff.
Can your dad do it?
So you were...
No. My dad cannot, but he knows when I'm doing wrong, and he can tell what I need to do better.
That's amazing.
Rad. What was the biggest challenge that let's just say, well, we'll talk about the double backflip, but I know you try new tricks all the time. So going back to learning that new trick, the double backflip, no one's ever done it before. You never saw a kid your age do it. You're looking at these older guys doing it thinking, I'm going to do it. What was the biggest challenge you faced within your mind?
The biggest challenge? That's a hard question because I've done. There's been a lot of stuff like that it's hard,
Do you get scared? Do you have any fear, or you feel
yes,
it?
You do get scared sometimes, but
good.
you just work through it and then do it.
Oh, good. That's what I wanted to know, because I've never asked you that question in person. I think a lot of people who watch you on YouTube or Instagram might think, oh, he has no fear at all. I've heard people say that you are like rubber. You never get hurt and you have no fear.
People do ask that question.
Yeah, but you do have fear. You just work through it. Yeah. What do you say to that?
Yeah, how do you do that?
You just gotta overcome it and then think all right, I'm going to land it, and then you just gotta do it.
So affirmations, that's what we call affirmations. You're affirming that something's going to happen the way you want it to happen before it's happened. So that's actually really cool that you do that naturally without realize what you're actually doing. But that's something that you can teach other people, other champions to do because, that might not come naturally to people. So that's really cool. I wonder if, did that come naturally or did maybe your parents teach you or one of your coaches?
No, kind of just came naturally. When I was 4, I was doing there's this skate park in California called Claremont, and then there's skate across, and then there's a big, humongous roll, and that's more than 20 feet. And when I was 4, I was doing it.
Oh,
it's professional skaters. So.
So good. Do you have you mastered when you're about to do a trick, do you see it in your mind first? Do you visualize yourself doing it first?
Kind of, yeah. When I'm at the top of the roll in, I kind of pretend I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what about I've been really impressed not impressed. It's more it's so joyful to watch you celebrate when you land your tricks. You're so good at celebrating. Is that something you feel before you actually do it as well? When you're at the top, do you imagine yourself doing the trick and then celebrating after, or does that just happen? No, it just happens. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Have you ever had somebody say to you when you've had a big goal of doing one of these big tricks, have you ever had somebody say to you, oh yeah, you're not going to be able to do that, or doubt you at all? Or have you had, you have, and how do you deal with that, with those doubters?
You just don't think about those people like Leo.
That's amazing.
I knew we'd get some gold nuggets from the child. It's so simple.
Yeah, why does everybody have to make it so complicated? No, you just don't think about them. It's pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
What about when they
you just got to be you don't think I can do it, and then you just got to prove them wrong.
Yeah, does it motivate you to get out there and do it? Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
What about when you've done it? And do you ever think about those doubters again, or you just move on to new things? Do you ever think showed them?
Yeah, I do.
You do, yeah. I'm like that too. It's fun, huh? It's fun to prove people wrong.
Yeah. See, told you I could do it.
Do
you feel, have you felt, I know that you, because you are, young, especially it probably feels like you're really just getting started into your sport. Have you had any moments of feeling, it's not as fun as it was in the beginning? Have you had to deal with that yet? Or you're just it's all fun all the time. You're always motivated to go out and go do it.
It always gets funner as you progress because once you can do more stuff, it's funner because there's more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Do
you, I remember as a kid, I had mentors and coaches tell me things that even to this day, I still remember, really special things they told me. Is there anything I know you just said you spent a lot of time with Travis Pastrana, and was there anything that you remember that he told you at Pastrana Land that's stuck with you? I know it's a hard question and a long time ago, but.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Do you want to, if you have it, do you want to share it with our listeners?
Well, he says a lot of stuff that you remember.
Yeah.
if he says he thinks you can do it, then you can do it. And on our last day, he always brings us donuts in the morning. And then so he brought me a donut box, and then he wrote something on it, and then it said he thought I could do the triple flip. And then so yeah, it was actually this right here. I still have it.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
That's a note from him?
It says, Daddy, come here. I can't read it because it's sideways and stuff.
Yeah, get in there, Dad.
As Connor, a little motivation for today. So impressed and stoked on your riding and composure under pressure. Adapting to the big jump. I think you can do a triple. What do you think? TP. And then he wrote, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, boss baby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's one of my favorite quotes. I love that.
You're right.
yes. Yes. That's like, did you know, Connor, that's literally the mission of this podcast. It's literally to help young people believe in the power of their mind. That quote right there. And I know Travis Pastrana he talked about the culture he created of pushing and encouraging each other. And on one of your videos, I heard him say, so many people want to be famous, but the true greats, they just try to be better every day. And it's not about being the best or whether others are better than you. They just want to see what they can get out of themselves every single day. And that might not be as much as someone else, or it might be more than everyone else. But at the end of the day, if you love what you do, action sports are all about seeing if you can be better, if you can better yourself every single day. And I feel like that's what I watch you do in the skate park with all your gang. It's pretty rad to have someone like that just mentor you, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Connor was that thing filled with donuts, and did you eat them all?
Yeah.
Oh,
and Shauna, in his house, he doesn't live in that house anymore. So like we stayed in it. And then he has a slide going down the stairs. It's really cool. So when you wake up in the morning and you go downstairs, you slide down, and it's really slippery.
He's just like a big kid, huh?
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
Well, tell us about what you're working on now. Like, what are your dreams? What are your goals? Do you do goal setting? And yeah, what's going on these days?
I do have a lot of goals. I have a goal to be a pro BMXer when I'm older. And then I also, tricks I want to learn. I want to learn a flip whip. That's a backflip tail whip. And then I also want to learn a front flip bar spin. I'm going to learn that soon. I know that for sure. And then, and then I just want to progress.
Yeah. Progress. I love
it. This might be a silly question, but what makes somebody a professional BMX rider? Are you not one yet?
No, I'm not.
And so what do you have to do to become one? Like, what does that mean?
You have to be being paid. You have to be being paid. And then you have to be really good too. Pro competitions. Yeah. You have to be doing pro competitions like X Games and that stuff.
And you have to be a certain age for those, right? To be able to start those. How old do you have to be able to do that?
X Games, I think you have to. Yeah, we don't really know, but I know I'm too young.
I love it. You're not even focusing on that stuff. You're just being your best, and then when it happens, it'll happen, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think that the things that you learn in BMX, we know you got a ton of grit. I've seen you get up again after crashing. But do you think BMX helps you with just mundane things like school? Does it? Because you like reading or tell me more.
BMX kind of does help with school because you have to know for example a 360 and 720 and a 1080.
Oh yeah.
Does it teach you how to keep going and not give up? I feel like that's something that you have to transfer right over.
Yeah.
I love it.
What about BMX is in the Olympics, right, Connor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just starting.
Yeah, it's just starting.
Yeah, you excited to watch that this summer? Yeah. Do you are you the kind of kid that cares about the Olympics, or do you more?
Really, not really that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really care that much for that stuff.
Yeah, it's like Nitro Circus and X Games and all that. Is that what lights your fire?
Well, I want to be in Nitro Circus,
Yeah.
the big show with like the dirt bikes and fireworks and stuff.
That's the big dream. I love it. So how often do you train? Do you go every day, or is it just whenever you want, or do you kind of have like a schedule?
Pretty much every day, but there isn't a schedule. We don't have a schedule. We just go whenever we want, but pretty much every day, except for when I'm like sore and stuff and I want a chill day.
And you mostly go to Woodward, right?
No, we go to like other skate parks too. Like we go to Van Skate Park a lot. It's a really good skate park. It's a bowl. It's like a big bowl. If you watch like my competition runs, I do a lot of them there. Actually, every single one there. Oh yeah, and there's this dude that has a really cool house. He has like the big airbag, like in Nitro Circus, so I can practice a bunch and stuff. And like he has like a bunch of ramps. He has like he has 2 resis, and he's got a bunch of stuff for progressing.
So good. What do you have you had any pain yet from your? I mean, I've seen blood on you and cuts and all those kind of things. Have you had any pain that makes you like, oh gosh, how am I going to get up tomorrow and do this again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I ruptured my spleen.
What?
Whoa.
Okay, you have to tell us that story.
You have to tell that story, yeah.
So it was actually right after a competition, right after I got first place. And then so we had to go one more time. And then so I was doing a no-footed can over the box. And then my feet just like got caught on the bike, and then I didn't get my feet back in time. And then I cased, and then like I just like tipped over, and then I went over the bars, and then I just like belly flopped on like the flat ground on like and it was concrete too. And then I just belly flopped on it, and then I was out for like 3 seconds, and then and we went to the hospital, and then I had ruptured my spleen, and then so we were there for like 3 days. And then, they just watched me and make sure so that, and I didn't have surgery, luckily.
Sweet.
So then what was it like? When was the next time you got back on your bike, and walk us through kind of your mindset of that? Was it a walk in the park, or were you a little bit nervous?
Well, and when I was in the hospital, it was really hard for me to walk. And then like the last day, like it started being better. And then so I could like walk better, and then it wasn't hurting as bad. And then we stayed at a friend's house. And then I was still like hurting, and then over time it started to not hurt. And then I was like taking medicine because like sometimes it would just start hurting. And then, I didn't ride for 3 weeks.
I love it. How many years ago was that? Was that a year ago?
No, it wasn't that long ago, actually. It was in Tucson for a competition.
Oh, okay. Now I remember. I'm really glad that you told this story, because I think for sure, there's a lot of athletes who go through injury and pain, and sometimes it takes them out a little bit mentally. And so it's so good to hear how people just come back, and it's hard, but everything's good. Yeah. Shall we ask the big question?
Yeah. We want to know, what does it mean to be a champion? What does that mean to you?
To be a champion, so it means that like when you go down, and then you just gotta work hard, and then you just gotta do it again and keep on doing it, and then you gotta not think about yourself only. Can't be like, oh yeah, I'm so good. You gotta help other people, So, like other people, you like if you see them working on stuff, like you can like give them a tip, and be super nice to them.
Yeah,
I love it. So
that is what you do.
Yeah, sounds like that is already what you do. That's amazing. Who do you like to help? Do you like to help people like your competitors? Do you cheer them on and like to help them? Or is it the younger generation that you're already, helping them? Or what's your passion? Who do you love to help?
Just anybody.
Yeah.
Big heart. I love it.
Yeah, I've seen that at the skate park, April. He's just cheering anyone on any age. It's awesome. That feels really authentic to you, Connor. And that just getting back up and not giving up. We interview a lot of legends in sport, have had 20, 30-year careers. And they all say that. They all say the same things. We are so excited, Connor, to watch your life and the story that you tell through pushing your limits, and we're excited to interview you years down the track and see how strong your mind's become. And thank you for joining us while you could have been at the bike park right now.
Yeah, Connor, thank you so much. We can't wait to watch you and cheer you on. And you're amazing. You already have inspired so many people. So keep doing what you're doing. That was such a fun interview with Connor. Oh my gosh. Just loved hearing from such a young, amazing, inspirational athlete. So fun. So thank you guys so much for listening. And we can't wait for you to hear who we have on next week. Stay tuned.